All right, I want to start off this essay by saying that for the longest time, I was firmly against the idea of spaying or neutering cats. I mean, why deprive our cute fur babies from one of the best things about being alive? It just seems so cruel and inhuman to do that. But age and experience has taught me that you sometimes have to be cruel to be kind. Allow me to explain why. Let's talk about the male cats first. You see, if you leave them as they are, with their crown jewels intact, then they have this worrying habit of running off and picking fights with other male cats over mating rights. Now, don't get me wrong, I still think that the idea of having a duel with another man so as to win a lady's heart is downright awesome. But the problem with that is that this manly display of awesomeness is not without its consequences. It's not uncommon for some of the wounds received during these fights to become infected. Now, for a house cat, this might mean nothing more than a simple visit to the vet and maybe some medications. But for street cats, this can be a death sentence. It's heartbreaking to see previously majestic tomcats dying a slow, painful death as their infected body starts to rot and pieces of meat fall from their bodies. And this is actually one of the better scenarios. If a cat is really unlucky, then it'll become permanently disfigured from such a fight. It might lose one or both of its eyes from a particularly nasty scratch, or it could fall from a roof and break its spine, living out the rest of its short life in extreme pain and fear. It's already bad enough watching these things happen to any neighborhood cat, but to see this fate befall your beloved pet can be absolutely soul crushing. Which is why I've reluctantly switched camps from being against neutering cats to being in favor of it, but only because the tragic cost of not having it done. I wish there was a better alternative, and I still think that there's something deeply poetic about two men settling their differences through deadly combat. Now let's talk about the female ones. Spaying a female cat removes its ability to have kittens. That might sound like a bad thing at first, but when you consider the fact that a mother cat can birth anywhere from 12 to 24 kittens each year, then suddenly spaying them doesn't seem all that bad. In nature, there's a necessity for cats to have this many babies because the vast majority of them do not live to grow up to be adults. But what about pet cats in sheltered environments? The lower mortality rate would swiftly result in insane amounts of overpopulation. How many kittens will you be able to give away? God knows it's difficult enough to find a decent home for just one cat. How will you manage to house 2 dozen? So, as heartbreaking as it is, I must say that the only practical option is to have the girl cat spayed as well. Doing so might actually result in better health for the mother cat, as she would no longer have to deal with pregnancy and child rearing every few months. In conclusion, I just wanted to say that I think it's better for both cats and their owners if the cats are made sterile, since it can lead to better health conditions for them in the long run, and it can help to ensure that our fur babies can live with us for just a little while longer.